Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Grand Tactician, the Civil War. This is going to be another live stream of the War of Northern Aggression, where we will take the Confederate States to fight defensively. No invasions of the North allowed, although we'll invade the neutral states. And hello, Zach Smith. Welcome to the stream. So that's the idea behind this campaign. Confederate States, defense only. We will cap our manpower and only match the Union manpower. And welcome, Ashley. Welcome to the stream. So, War of Northern Aggression. The Confederate States say they were innocent in attacking Fort Sumter. That was illegally held territory by the federal government. Jeff Davis claims to be just let us alone in our new nation. It is completely constitutional to secede. Again, these aren't my opinions. These are the opinions of the founders of the Confederate States. That's my little disclaimer. So we are running into the winter of 61 and 62. I think now that we have retaken Nashville and defended ourselves against a couple of minor Union invasions, the invasion into Nashville or Tennessee was probably the strongest invasion. There was a weak attempt to take Fayetteville in northwest Arkansas, but we have supplied Benjamin McCulloch with 16,000, 17,000 men. They sent 6,000. Now, it does look like they're trying to form up an army of southwest Missouri of strength about 17,000 men with 57 guns. So the Union trying to learn from their mistake of not providing sufficient resources for an invasion of Arkansas. There was an earlier attempt in the summer to take Little Rock, but our fort there was actually able to fight it off. So, to recap the strategic situation, we talked a little bit about some of the invasions the Union had made. There was fighting around Nashville. They penetrated as deep as Columbia, Tennessee, and we were able to fight off at the Battle of Columbia 6,000 casualties to our 1,000. And then Albert Sidney Johnston of the Army of Tennessee with Longstreet's Army of Central Tennessee were able to repel the Union invaders out of Nashville. They had captured Nashville, so we had to retake it. So the unfortunate thing about retaking a city, letting a city fall the size of Nashville, well, the Nashville is a size 4 here in the game. I know the South didn't have a lot of large cities, but Atlanta's only a 2. That's interesting. I don't know how much the number is representative of the overall size. There is a ironworks foundry near Nashville, but it might be more representative of the surrounding area that Nashville also controls. So lots of resources in Tennessee. Greetings, Randall. Welcome back to the stream. We have not retaken this foundry, though. We have the Cumberland, so we need to take, what is this city? Clarksville? Does Clarksville control part of northern Tennessee? We are repairing the fort at Nashville, and we also have in Jackson, Tennessee, there is a Union corps of about 17,000 men facing off Albert Sidney Johnston right now. And the question now is, do we try to reinforce Johnston and try to drive out the Union near Jackson, or just hunker down for the winter? I mean, I would really like to hunker down at Nashville, and then in the spring maybe invade Kentucky if possible. So that's the situation in Tennessee. We have in eastern Tennessee, Bragg is trying to fortify Chattanooga. Chattanooga may be an area that we develop as a recruitment center with a fort depot and a good administrative general like Bragg. Bragg might be a very good candidate as a recruitment center general. He has 2 administration. His fame is actually 5. His other stats are not very well. Out east, we have built some forts in western Virginia. There has not looked like any major invasion into West Virginia, except there has been a Army of the Potomac forming of about 20,000 men. They have been sitting there for a while, I believe, guarding Pittsburgh. We have Joe Johnston in the Valley. We have recently formed the Virginia Cavalry Reserve under James Hawes, who will in the future be used probably for not only scouting and reconnaissance, but heavy raiding into Pennsylvania. That is the plan, at least. And then Lee is guarding the main route into Virginia proper, the main overland route, across the Potomac, facing off against the Union Corps at Washington. He has fortified his position at Alexandria. We have several forts along the Potomac crossings. After the depot is finished, Johnston can take on the Yanks on his own. Yeah, I was thinking, even though there are no invasions of the North, the neutral states are subject to our invasion. So we're allowed to invade Maryland and liberate them from the despotic rule of the United States federal government. So I was thinking I would like to take Cumberland or Frederick. We could take Frederick and use that as a bait and hold the mountain pass there. Maybe fortify in western Maryland and try to raid into Harrisburg, ripping up rail tracks and forcing the Union to try to retake that and rebuild, which would hurt their economy. We have Fort Monroe garrisoned and Forts Fitzhugh garrison at Richmond. I was thinking Richmond will probably be a recruit. We can use Richmond as a recruitment center, so we might want to remove Carl Gibson as the garrison commander and use a slightly better administration general there that can train troops faster and better. So that's the land situation. So December 9th, 1861. So Ashley, you say hunker down for the winter and then push them out of northern Tennessee in the spring. It looks like the supply situation might be bad for the Department of the West, so wonder if we can get in and around them at all. So I think we will do that, though. We control Jackson. They're trying to build a depot, so they're away from their main base. If anything, we may send a force to take Dyersburg, and that way that would cut off any other supplies reaching the depot there. They would have to be all coming down the one road from Columbus. We've got our small river fleets that are being used as reconnaissance forces. I've also set them to blockade any possible, to help blockade any possible supplies moving across into Tennessee. So we might actually try to blockade the ferry here at Clarksville. We have a lot of small gunboat tenders that are in harbor. We'll build another small fleet here. I think we've used up all our possible Confederate naval commanders. So build a couple more gunboat tender fleets that maybe we can push up the Ohio and kind of reconnoiter deeper into the Union territory. Creating a bunch of small units before winter, then don't move them before spring. Would they flesh out and be fully trained by then? We could try to, in the certain garrisons, we could. I've noticed the garrisons that we have recruited, like here at Fort Hood and the Buckner garrison, they have not trained very well. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have the best commanders there to train either. Now, I did put William Clark training the Fort Humphreys garrison. Now, here's the other question, too. The garrison capacity is only 5,000. I actually have 6,000 men. The condition is good, but I don't know if you can overfill your garrisons, and that would slow down the training process. So let's look at our forts. Fitzhugh is the... So I might actually do... To find these forts a little bit better, I think I'll name them after the city. So Fort Richmond. So if we replace the commander with someone, maybe a better administrative general that should also be able to train faster. You really only have 2-star administration generals available for the most part. Most of the really good generals that might have, I think Bragg only has 2. I've seen them at 3 stars before. We can do a political general that will also help buffer state support. So we got 2 political generals at Fort Richmond. Now, I don't want to recruit right now. We only have 16,000 volunteers in our reserve manpower pool. Lee has about 20,000 men. So Lee has 20,000. Let's see. Let's look at. We can call these forts Fort Potomac. Yeah, okay, that's Fort Ewell, Fort Humphreys. Fort Potomac #1. Oh, it didn't change the name. It still says Fort Ewell right here. It doesn't change the name on the map. That's disappointing. Oh, there it goes. So now it changed the name. Fort Potomac #1. So we'll just go starting with the furthest east fort. Although we probably should put a fort here at Aquia Landing. We're going to send Porterfield over there to build that fort. We have forts along the West Virginia mountain passes, so if he needs to come back over there to defend a Union invasion, we can do that. I don't want to move Lee from his spot. He's staying right there. We'll move Porterfield by rail to Aquia Landing and build a fort there. Is there a Fort Davis? Don't know. There might be. I'm sure there was, but in our game, I don't know. Don't see a Fort Davis. If we build another, if we do a fort maybe in Mississippi, we'll call that Fort Davis. Actually, we'll rename the forts later. Got Fort Richmond, Fort Potomac #1. I got Porterfield moving to Aquia Landing to build a fort there. I mean, we could name this Fort Shenandoah. All right, so Fort Hood rechristened the Fort Shenandoah. And so that, I think the only other fort that was completed was the one on the Mississippi, Fort Robinson. We can name this Fort Davis at the fort near Memphis on the Mississippi River. Should name it Fort Jeff Davis, I do declare. Sterling Price with 1,800 men there. We're actually going to move him to Corinth. And we're going to probably throw a fort here at Corinth. And then we can use Corinth as a recruitment center maybe for Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi. Fort on the Tennessee. Yeah, so maybe... Well, actually, maybe we'll do it at... We'll put a fort at Pittsburgh Landing. And then we'll put... Then we can put like a depot in between Corinth and Pittsburgh Landing. And that way we have a fort there. My goal is after we've completed repairs on Fort Kershaw, we can try to put a fort here at Johnsonville Ferry. Now the thing is, I don't really want to move Johnston too much, so if we need to just use Price to do that. But I want I want to use Johnston. If we're not going to invade or attack the Department of the West, I want to kind of just shadow the Department of the West with Johnston right now. We have Stan Waite and his cavalry reserve. And we'll call them the Southern Cavalry Reserve. I was hoping they would put out the beta patch for 105. That way we could change some uniforms if we wanted. Because part of the 105 patch will be being able to change uniforms after units are recruited. So anyone new to the stream, I hope you enjoy. This is a Confederate campaign, defense only, with manpower caps to match the Union. Currently, we actually outman the Union, so we're not going to research any more manpower policies. Their national morale on the Union is 72, while ours remain at 100. Our national support dropped to 99. We were at 100. I wonder what state might have dropped support a little bit. Virginia's at 100. It looks like it might be just maybe the Indian Territories affecting that. Oh, Tennessee. Okay, that would make sense. So Tennessee's been invaded. We lost control of Nashville, so you can see some Tennessee citizens might have been flipping sides. We've won 11 battles. We've lost... The Union has won 7. I wonder if that's just... Oh, that's probably includes naval battles. Total casualties, we've lost about 8,000 to their 22,000. European relations are up to 34. We are losing the trade war. Weapons industry, we actually have a better weapons industry right now than the Union. I know we have upgraded a lot of weapons on most of our units. Longstreet's Army/Corps, they have the most best available weapons to them. We'll scroll through. How about Johnston? Hampton's division, they have the Springfield muskets. The Berks Bushwhackers have the Enfield musketoon. Yeah, so Johnston's Army of Tennessee looks good. What about Lee here? Hall rifle. So they got good. We have Miss muskets under Bonham, so we can upgrade those. Cooper's artillery have some of the best artillery in the entire army. I don't think we have a lot of cavalry weapons. Oh, there we got some musketoons there. Army of Shenandoah under Joe Johnston. I think we captured quite a few weapons from the Union forces in the last battle to retake Nashville. Pickett's division gets upgrades. So yeah, we're going to go through and upgrade all our armies. McCulloch's army. Although we're leaving the bald knobbers, are only getting the muskets. Oh wow, McCulloch, his troops have. They still all have musket. There we go. Breckinridge gets an upgrade. We are fleshing out a small artillery reserve for McCulloch's Army of the West. Heck, we'll even upgrade Porterfield's men. I'm thinking about replacing Porterfield. Yeah, there's not really any good available candidates anyways. They're all lieutenants. So, Porterfield stays where he's at. We'll continue to upgrade more weapons. Doesn't look like we have any more. Yep, it's all the better cavalry weapons. We've used all those up. I think we have 6 Lorenz rifles. So yeah, we have a lot of good. Actually, we used up quite a few of our rifles. We have 6 Lorenz rifles available. Then here, these are some engineer type divisions. Oh yeah, we gave our cavalry reserve some really good cavalry weapons. You have the Colt revolving rifle in the hands of John Pegram and his brigade. 200 yards, 12 rounds per minute on the Colt revolving rifle. Is it time to upgrade the bald knobbers from mixed muskets to Springfield? Well, why don't you want to give them the Lorenz rifles? Or you want to keep them only with muskets only, correct? The bald knobbers, mixed muskets. Oh, we have 9. Do you want the reboard muskets? Could you give the German volunteers Lorenzes? FA, what was the name of your unit? I have it written down here somewhere. Oh, the Mainz Brigade. I can't remember where I put them though. I didn't write what army they're in. We'll find them though. So the reboards will give them 400 yards, 2.5 rounds per minute. So they'll give them better range. We'll give them the reboard muskets. Smooth bores. I don't see any smooth bores. They fall out of production. I don't know if I can. So they'll keep the mixed muskets. Let's find the Mainz Brigade. I won't be able to search them. I wonder if they're out east. Yeah, I have it. Definitely, Ashley. I have that actually in my to-do list. If we recruit a cavalry division, you'll get the Nemesis Cavalry Division, white and green uniforms. We will find this brigade. I'm going to have to write down. So the divisions are a lot easier to find. The brigades, on the other hand... It wasn't a cavalry brigade, I don't think, right? No, it wasn't. Oh, there's the Muskegee Guard with an extra A. There it is. Oh, actually, no, they don't have. They have mixed muskets. Mixed muskets. Let's give them the Lorentz rifle. We'll give the Muskegee Guard Lorentz rifles as well. All red uniforms for the Ultima ratio when... Yeah, that'll be so much easier to do this. We can recruit troops, and then if you're like, oh, I don't like those uniform colors, we can change them. All right, so yeah, there's Colonel John Scott, the Mainzer Freiwillige. I cannot pronounce the last part of that. So those are in Jackson's division. All right, we went through and upgraded. I think most of our units are properly upgraded weapon-wise. We are rebuilding our ocean fleet. They're at Galveston. Got a couple of brigs that we're building. we'll build a couple more brigs. All right, why don't we move forward in time here. So the Union unit retreating back into Indian territory. McCulloch going to keep an eye on the Army of Southwest. But you can see the Union they are building depots, so it doesn't look like they're planning on leaving at all. 17,000 men here. Johnston has 16,000 men. As he encamps at Jackson. Oh. So apparently Jackson didn't like that Union Corps right in front of Jackson, Tennessee. But he forces Sanford to withdraw. I did not think I ordered Johnston to move up north that far. Naval upkeep right now is 1.6 million. The real cost is replacing the material to build the ships. Wealth is mediocre. So if we want to look at some financial supply depots, we're spending as much on supply depots and supplies as the Union. Recruitment costs are costing the Union more. Navy upkeep. So Union spending a lot on their Navy. Army upkeep. We are actually... Well, our Army upkeep just actually improved. So Army upkeep doing... So the less moving we're doing, I believe, will help keep that down. Interest costs. So financially, we're doing all right, I believe. Supply depots always being the largest cost. Though the Union revenues, they are receiving more than we are. Land sales, sales tax, tariffs. If we want to look at goods and trade, unfortunately this graph is very small. It's defaulted to set on the average price. So average price of artillery. If we hit in stock, we actually have more artillery in stock than the Union, although they have a little bit more ammunition. Oh no, that's the price. We actually have more artillery ammunition, so we could probably build more artillery. Which we will actually do. We don't have a lot of large guns available, though. It's okay. I mean, the debt rating has fallen under A. Our current treasury surplus is minus 165 million. Now we have all our subsidies on high. So if we can keep it here, I think we'll do all right. You'll really notice the effects of a bad economy when your state supports start dropping. That's the biggest effect I see on with the economy is your states all of a sudden your states start to drop support like a rock, and it's usually probably because the cost of their goods have skyrocketed. So like things like crops, like we're still kind of, I mean, we're flatline on the cost of crops. You can see the price of cotton has dropped a ton. We are producing a lot of cotton, but we don't know if we want the price of cotton to drop too much either. Because if that's going to be an export to Europe, then that might actually be bad in the long run. Like the price of tobacco. So we're looks like we're producing a lot of tobacco, producing a lot of cotton. I mean, that's price, so it's not stock. But I imagine we have plenty of supply to meet the price demands. You can see the price of uniforms is going up. Weapon prices started very low and now are... Well, that's the beginning of the war there. All right, we have Magruder going to Cumberland Gap to build fortifications there. Bragg still working on Chattanooga, Tennessee. Union looks pretty quiet at the moment now. They have blockaded as far south as Charleston. They did hit they did hit Cedar Key. Looks like they're still blockading. We technically control it, but there's a Union flag there. Let's see, Johnston. I think we're going to have him settle into winter quarters. Actually, let's move him towards the fort here to rebuild the fort. So he's going to finish building the fort at Jackson, Tennessee. So I'm trying to think. I want to create an army to take Fort Pickens. So I might pull troops from several different armies. I think we can afford to take some men away from Longstreet. I was going to build a fort here. Should we try to build a fort along the Cumberland at near Charlotte, above Charlotte, on the Cumberland and Tennessee? I think we're actually going to do that. So we got 8 days. So actually, what we'll probably do is reinforce Bragg. We're going to use Bragg to take Fort Pickens. So that's 6,000 men. If we use Barksdale's entire division, should we give him the sharpshooters? So we're going to give Bragg Barksdale's brigade or division. They'll be there in 4 days, which is perfect. We probably need a little bit more men to take the fort. That leaves Longstreet with 16,000 men defending Nashville. Brings Bragg up to 9,000. He could probably use artillery is what he could use. We'll give him some extra guns for taking the fort. Give him Daniel H. Hill. He's going to take 14 days. That's fine. So that gives him over 11,000 men to take Fort Pickens. All right, so Price going to Charlotte to try to fortify along the Cumberland. As we head near Christmas, Medal of Honor is created. I don't know why they wouldn't use the rail and go there. Yeah, probably, yeah, winter movement, very slow. All right, Christmas Eve, 1861. And you ever notice, so every fort has its own supply of guns to start. And it's usually the newer forts, 10 64-pounder rifle and 10 32-pounder cannon. At the forts at the beginning of the game have even bigger firepower, so they have 30 guns, 2 8-inch mortars, 2 8-inch cannon, 5 10-inch cannon, 8 32-pound cannon, and 10 42-pound rifled cannon. We're going to ask Buchanan to move up above Paducah. We'll have the Arkansas squadron move up a little bit to reconnoiter. Price almost at destination. All right, so Longstreet well supply. He's almost got another perk. Johnston, his army is trained up to regular status. Condition is good. So the armies in Tennessee are looking good. I'm going to move Price up along the river. I'd like to get a fort right here at the crossing. So we might need two forts. One at Dover Ferry, another one near Clarksville Bridge. Industrialization 3 policy is selected. So time for another policy. The Union still does not outman us, so we are not going to do a military policy. I was thinking about Free Trade Act, an act that halves the maximum tariffs the government will impose on imports. This action will be met with approval in Europe, where they are dependent on southern cotton to run their textile mills. European relations plus 10, maximum tariff rate 15%. Impressment will actually give us more access to men. I don't want to do the Tariff Act. I don't want to print notes yet. I don't see a need to. Civilian warships. An act allowing the Confederate government to purchase civilian ships to bolster the Navy. The steamers will be armed and put into service, whilst more ships will be available to the Navy sooner. The trading fleet will suffer, and the transport capacity of ports will be reduced. This allows unarmed 4th, 3rd, and 2nd rates, as well as paddle steamers, to be produced at 25% of the full cost. Why don't we do free trade first, and then maybe civilian warships down the road? Or we should do breadbasket. We can do we can do that. We'd have to pay. I think we got to pay for another policy. We'll do free trade first, and then maybe King Cotton too. It looks like the fort in Chattanooga is finished. Oh. John, let's see. Lewis Little ran into a Union-controlled fort in Indian territory. I don't think it's going to go well. So we may want to actually take that fort. I forgot we need to rebuild this telegraph station because we didn't build it in the right spot. We're going to have to go back to Dallas. And then go around the Indian territory. All right, so McCulloch's going to go back to Fort Smith just to build a telegraph station, because the telegraph line from Little Rock to Fort Smith did not connect. They are just out of range of each other. Looks like we need to rebase Arkansas Squadron for a minute. So we can't go up to Ohio. We can only go up to Ohio as far as near Evansville. Union selects industrialization 2. Magruder's at destination. Let's see if the reinforcements have arrived to Bragg. He's up to 11. So why don't we... The fort is built in Chattanooga. We have a depot there too. All right, so he can be freed up now to go to Fort Pickens. Let's build this, not fort, but telegraph station. All right, there we go. There's the connection. Thank you very much. And it connects the fort too. You can see the Union Army retreated to Paducah. Department of the West, 18,000 men. There's still Department of Ohio, which I think that was McClellan. They're down to 12,000 men. I never actually ordered Price to build the fort. So they're going to build a fort right at the Dover Ferry. Can they do forts at the same time? Yeah, it would take the same amount of time. 41 days with the engineering. So it doesn't take double the time. So he's building 2 forts. Or was it 20 days to build that fort? I didn't check. So that could be my mistake. But it's normally about 50 days without the engineering perk. All right, so Bragg fortifying along the Tennessee. Magruder is near the Cumberland Gap. He's going to have to build... Probably have to build a depot here. Since we won't be near... we'll probably be a little bit far away from Knoxville. And we can build a fort right there. So fort and depot at the Cumberland Gap. And we could even use that as a springboard to Lexington if the Union is blocking our path in South and West Kentucky. Fortress Dixie. Fort, absolutely. January 14th, 1862, though. I have not looked at our volunteer reserves. Up to 17,000. Surprised the Union is not doing more recruitment. All right, so McCulloch built the telegraph station. We're all connected. They're out west, or at least in Arkansas. Let's see, Stan Waite and his Southern Cavalry Reserve are at Bolivar. His readiness is at low. Confederacy introduces free trade. What a novel idea. So, show. So King Cotton, if we want to do King Cotton, why don't we spend another subsidy? Oh, depots. We're spending a little bit more on depots now. Revenues are slowly ticking up. Where do we need to capture in order to get our next railroad? Oh, we could... Lexington would be one. Because that would complete, I think, a Lexington, London to Knoxville line. All right. We can't do number 4 yet. What's government funding? With economic policies and the nation's credit rating is improved and new acts of funding the war effort are made available and improved credit rating. But King Cotton should give us more support in Europe. We are currently at 39%. We can build cotton-clad ram ships. So King Cotton it is. And rail lines. Oh, Texas Southern. Doesn't look like we can build any, unless the Union did it for us. So there's no real potential ones. We'd have to capture. I guess there's this Kentucky, Covington, and Nashville one. So if we can, we have a railroad here that we can build. Good morning, Howard. How's it going? Watching from Iowa. Oh, very cool. Thank you. Thank you for the added father and son watching from different parts of the country, too, nonetheless. All right, January 18th. Magruder is fortifying there. Let's double check. Where else do we want to build Fortress Dixie? We've got the fort near Carrollton. Don't have a lot of troops to recruit right now, so we're not busy recruiting a lot of men or forming up any new units. Oh wow, Porterfield was supposed to go to Aquia Landing and he stopped. So why don't we reorder him to go there? We do have Bragg on his way to... Porterfield's content on being in winter quarters. So movement very slow. So Bragg sluggishly making his way to Fort Pickens. Porterfield finally found the train to Fredericksburg. Hartley Collier disaster, coal mining accident in England. Joe Johnson has trained his men to regular. Hawes training up to poor. Lee's men at regular status. Who's at destination? Little is at destination. We retreated him back to Dallas. Let's send him to Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, not Pittsburgh, Vicksburg. Union up to 169,000 men. Their national morale is at 73. Not seeing any much more naval activity. We were building a fleet out of Galveston. 4 ships are being built. They're all disabled still. So we're actually entering into February of 62. Battle Hymn of the Republic. How's song raises spirits. Does that actually affect national morale? Or public support? So we're ordering some of our river scouts back up. We had to resupply the Arkansas squadron. You can see the army units are gaining full strength from the manpower reserves, as we haven't done a lot of recruiting, but McCulloch he's up to 19,000 men. I think he was down to 18,000. So we'll have one of our gaps will be right here along the Cumberland. We can either use Magruder after they're finished building the fort here at Cumberland Gap. We can build one there. $842 sick men as Bragg marches south. All right, Porterfield is at his destination. Yeah, but the Union definitely staying in winter quarters. We actually want him to build right at Aquia Landing. He's got the engineer perk too, so let's see how fast he can build a fort. That should be a good spot right here. So 41 days. So it reduces by about 10 days, but you can build multiple forts at the same amount of time. Yeah, Fortress Dixie is in action. So Union sluggishly recruiting men. Union support for the war. We've taken a defensive stance and we haven't even invaded Kentucky or Maryland. Bragg at destination. So Bragg will be ready soon to assault Fort Pickens, our second attempt at taking Fort Pickens. Now we've got to have them use sea movement to take the fort. That's part of the problem of Fort Pickens. It's an amphibious assault. Yeah, I'm very surprised that they have been so lackluster in the East. Those forts have got them all flustered. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do with themselves against our fortifications. All right, good start to the siege, but it looks like it's going to take a little bit of time. We've brought 45 guns. Fort Pickens garrison firing at Hill's brigade. We should have brought the sharpshooters. We should have gave him Claiborne's men. I don't think we'll be able to break the Union blockade. Oh, we finished another policy. So Keegan Cotton is finished. So I was hoping the Union would surpass us with men so we could actually recruit more men. If we do letters of marque, that actually hurts European relations. European intervention's at 58% right now. I'm not ready to print notes. Well, I guess we can spend more subsidies on policies. We can do King Cotton 3, or we can do diplomacy 4. Now, once the Union surpasses us in manpower, we'll go for military 2. That way we can build our actual armies. Further reforms the CS Army and allow creation of larger armies with an independently operating core organization. Recruitment, civil order, and trade warfare subsidies all allowed up to $500,000 annually. So because of the subsidies increase, this actually does give you some more manpower. Yeah, we'll do diplomacy 4. That should increase European relations. So our defensive posture is slowly convincing the Europeans that we are in the right. All right, 52 casualties. Now their fort condition is down to 99. So if we can break their fort condition a little bit more, this should tick up a little bit. Oh no, we're losing ground. I don't think I can sit there and watch the agony of a fort siege right now. Diplo 4. Military 2. Oh, Union takes military 2 policy. So that will be our next policy no matter what. Yep, and they've matched us with manpower, plus the fact that they can combine their armies and we can't. I mean, we can, but it's a little bit trickier without military too. So I don't want to get over garrison our forts too much, because then you don't have men for the field. Well, there's 2 armies in Pennsylvania now, so it looks like could they be gaining or preparing for an invasion of West Virginia? That fort at the Cumberland Gap is almost ready. All right, Little is an engineer brigade or engineer division at Vicksburg. We're going to send them to Decatur. We might make Decatur like a recruitment center. We'll build a fort depot at Decatur. Plus, it will act as another line of defense if there's a massive invasion in Tennessee. So the deadlock of the winter of 1862 right now, but we're heading into March, so spring is right around the corner, and you know what spring means. Spring offensives are in the air. We have, in Washington, we have Army of Washington, 31,000 strong now. Oh, so they created their first army. I would imagine French invades Mexico. So imagine that this would be the corps attached to Fort Army of Washington, I'm thinking. You got the spring rains. We have 19,000 men. Fort Blanker in Chattanooga. We're going to rename that Fort Chattanooga. Because this might be a recruitment area as well. All right, so we'll create that Nemesis division for Ashley here. Let's find a cavalry commander. Where are all the cavalry officers? All right, well, if we can't find a cavalry officer, let's do a high admin guy. Marcellus Stovall. So we'll try to recruit from Georgia. We have some men in Georgia. Do the white on green. Is there a better looking green? So I think that green stands out a little bit. The white looks too gray to me. I'd like to see a brighter white. Let's take a look at the cavalry uniforms. We'll make them look nice and proper. See what other cavalry commanders we have available. Oh, Joseph Wheeler. Let's do a cavalry, a horse battery. Do one from Florida. Kershaw, who is a volunteer. I think we'll use him there. Actually, no, let's find an artilleryman. Could do Leonidas Polk. He has fame. William Pender. Ramsier. How about Stephen D. Ramsier? Any good cavalry? No, unfortunately, we've used up all our cavalry. Unless we've just produced some. We've gained some. We're going to give him the 12-pound Napoleon. It seems weird to have horse batteries with the larger guns, to me at least. And we'll do one more brigade of cavalry. Oh, see, now they're in Fort Chattanooga, so... So when we assign these units, we'll assign them to a cavalry division. I name it the Nemesis Division. Thomas Hinman from Arkansas. We'll do John Chambliss. All right, so that's going to be, we're forming the Nemesis Cavalry Division at Fort Chattanooga. Time for tea. I was drinking coffee. All right, so Fort Chattanooga is recruiting men. The weather is 50 degrees in northern Tennessee. High 40s, low 50s. We still haven't broken our winter quarters yet. Probably not until the end of March. As the Union forces pull ahead in fielded manpower. We don't know how much they have in volunteer reserves. Let's see how our siege is going. So they still have only 11 blockades, but their blockade efficiency is really good. At Hampton and the one thing about the naval strategy for the Confederates. Now there's a perk. There's a Sea Commerce Raider perk. Looks like these guys are ready. Havana, that's Spain. How about is there a Union Middle America sea trade? See, if we start raiding sea trade nodes, I think that affects European relations. I wish there was a blockade runner perk thing, or blockade running naval order. Patrol when a route is ordered, whether a single destination or chain of waypoints. The fleet will patrol the route continuously engaging the enemy fleets and reinforcing friendly ones. Patrolling fleets will move slower, but have their command range increased, allowing interception from longer distance. So blockades enemy ports, but raids weaker ships of a opposing force. We already saw how that did not do very well for us. The fleet will, on raiding, the fleet will automatically engage any blockading fleets within its command radius. And after the raid, it will disengage and return to original posture. But last time we did that, last time we did that, we got obliterated. They have 14 ships. So are we building any more ships to... Now, we want to try to keep them fast. I want to keep our sailing ships fast. We can add these gunboat tenders. They can move in the sea. Now they're slightly slower. So your idea of breaking those port blockades as follows. Take one small to medium hyper-efficient fleet, which is not too costly, and attack the Union isolated fleets. We can try. I want to build more ships. Maybe we'll try this mid to late 62, and why don't we build more ships. Like, what's this cotton-clad ram that we have available? Now, they're slow. They have iron armor, 3 guns. I mean, if our goal is hit and run tactics on the blockading fleet, we need fast ships. The brigs go 11. The barks are 10. And the brigs have 12 guns. But they are... What's their armor? They have no armor. No armor. That's how they can move so fast, I guess. They're pretty quick to build. They did not take them that long to build. The CSS Forest. The CSS Fanny. Did you see that? So that'll give us 4, 7. Let's go to 8. Let's go to 8. All right, so we'll have 8 ships. French tea in the evening. All right, the Fort Pickens siege. Ooh, not going very well for us. Let's give let's see if this siege train perk will make the difference. You wonder if the Confederacy ever had sea movement ironclads. Well, how seaworthy was the Virginia? Was it only coastal? Oh no. What's going on, Bragg? He's losing quite a few men in this assault. Fugitive Slave Act annulled. Army officers not to return slaves, the most hated legislation in the U.S. We have damaged the fort. They did have submarines. Welcome, Matthew. Welcome to the stream. Cotton clads are wood ships wrapped in bales of cotton for protection. The name suggests that they ram their enemies. So it's almost like it sounds like they're a kamikaze kind of ship. Let's see if March 15th, let's see if the Union starts moving around. Oh, Washington had primitive subs during the Revolution. And okay, Cumberland Gap is fortified with a depot as well. They actually draw supplies from the Cumberland Gap. Let's build a telegraph at Knoxville. We'll build a fort along the Cumberland at Carthage Ferry as well. The forts at Aquia Landing are built. Let's garrison them up a little bit. The Bate Garrison and Alexander Garrison. We're going to name Aquia 1 and 2. I'm just going to give them some batteries here. Do not want to give him Waitman, although Waitman's stats aren't that good. We can give him Polk. I feel like I'm running out of generals. Well, we won't use the artillery perk. Deschler. See, there's still some good lieutenants here. I would rather save for new field units. We do Robert H. Anderson. Oh, I thought that was the division command. Let's find a division commander. Got some Maryland men joining the ranks of that garrison at Aquia Landing. We might need a depot here. Let's see, Fort Alexander. And that'll be Aquia 2. Right, tons of cotton. Yeah, and they weren't able to unload their cotton. So like, hey, well, this we could just set it ablaze, and now you got a fire ship. All right, those two, we fortified the other two forts. So, yeah, the Potomac is well fortified. I mean, I could probably add a little bit more garrison troops to the two Aquia forts, but they're heavily gunned. Now for this Fort Pickens siege that doesn't look to be going too well for us. Yeah, Bragg disabled soldiers. 1,000 sick. Is he not supplied? Oh, he's pretty well supplied. He earned himself another perk, though. Sappers and miners. All right, let's see if sappers and miners will break the siege. We've given him siege train and sappers and miners, and he still can't break through. The Hills Brigade was broken in that assault. Well, we just ticked the other way, so... Oh, there it goes back against us. So that siege doesn't look like it's going very well. So Wheeler's brigade has been recruited at Fort Chattanooga. Am I lacking cavalry in any of my main armies? So we have Central Tennessee. He looks good there. I guess Army of Tennessee could use a little bit more. Now, cavalry is actually really good. We got more than enough cavalry, I feel, for what we have available to us. Still 17,000 men in reserve. We'll build a telegraph station here at Knoxville. And let's look at finances. Supply depots. We've increased to 126 million on the depot end of things. I wonder why the sudden... Oh, maybe the cost of goods are getting more expensive because of the blockade. Well, it looks like Bragg is trying to recover as they've reduced the condition of the fort to 95. So maybe those breakthroughs are having an impact. Lincoln emancipates the slaves. He's not going to wait for a major win. Glorious victory at Fort Pickens. So the fort commander surrenders. So nice job, Brad. We thought you were going to blow it. So we'll keep him there so that he can repair the fort. And we're about to head into April. So for all his hard work, Porterfield earned himself another perk. Engineers, might as well give him... We'll give him flying column. I'm pretty sure there's some instances people tried to use breastplates. Think at Bull Run, but when the Union Army routed, they found, I think Confederate soldiers found some metal breastplates that were thrown to the ground because it was slowing down the routed Federals. So that didn't last long. They tried. I know people tried to put body armor back on. Actually, Porterfield's going to go to Lynchburg now, too. So April, yeah, because we've broken winter quarters. Here's a curious thing. We rebuilt the fort. But then they don't show the fort anymore. Exchange units with fort. Because it's both, like, this Kershaw garrison is both fort and field army. All right, Johnston has 17,000 men. There's 21,000 men at Paducah. Another 23,000 now across the Cumberland. So what we need to do is we want Bragg's men back to Tennessee. Where do we want to assign? We want to give them back Barksdale. All right, we'll give Longstreet back Barksdale. They'll be back there in 4 days. Including Herbert's brigade. I feel like D.H. Hill is wasted in garrison duty around Fort Pickens. So why don't we move him to the Army of Tennessee? So that'll give Johnston 19,000 men. Longstreet will have 24,000 men. But I feel like the real... Oh, they have an Army of Ohio now. Only 2,000 men. So I was thinking that since we are just facing off in western Kentucky, that the right hook into Kentucky might be the real invasion plan. So from Nashville and Knoxville through London and Somerset to Lexington. We can try that approach. Yeah, we can. We'll see what division commanders fail us, and then we can maybe promote Hill. European intervention. Oh, it fell. 44. What caused the drop? Oh, Emancipation Proclamation. So it looks like the Union's actually countering our diplomacy. I feel like the AI sometimes tries to purposely counter your policies. Which, I mean, a good AI probably should. I've had a campaign where every military policy I took, the Union would counter, and even though I had a huge army, the Union had even huger army. Do I even bother with Indian Territory? Things will be, once we get military 2 policy, we're almost done with diplomacy 4. We'll do military 2, and that way we can start building armies. But that will take 45 days. So probably won't be until almost June before we can start creating actual armies. So Union up to 182,000 men. We have 181,000. All right. Just kind of thinking here. What is our next move? I know. I know what we can do. Are you ready? Are you ready, Southern Reserve Cavalry? I know where the Nemesis division is going to go to. Henry Ashby will command. He's going to command the Nemesis division. Oh, why didn't it change? Then we need to find, that was the Chattanooga garrison. Do we consider Indian Territory neutral or it's Union controlled? Oh, you're going to say for the conditions of the Let's Play, I'd say take. Well, I would assume that we can invade Indian Territory. I don't think we can. We might be able to. It's actually, I think it's being occupied. It shows as. So we show that it as Confederate territory, but Union occupied. With 92% support for Confederate. So maybe we create a small army to try to take the Indian Territory, see what happens with that. I don't think you can flip the Indian Territory. We can, but we can occupy what the encampments, and maybe we'll gain more. Maybe we'll gain more volunteers. All right, let's transfer Stovall's men from Fort Chattanooga. We need to find the Southern Reserve Cavalry. Oh, I called it the Nemesis Division. So Stan Waite's going to have 15,000 cavalry troopers, and we're actually going to have him invade deep into Kentucky. I want to see what the Union will do with a massive cavalry raid towards Lexington. My hope is that they draw off men from Clarksville and Paducah, and then we can just march into Western Kentucky. So that's what's going to be the plan here. We wanted Henry Ashby as our division commander of the... change the name. We'll change it back to the Nemesis. Sorry, you don't get a whole corps yet. All right, Southern Cavalry Reserve. The Nemesis Division will be with us 7 days. We're going to start marching the Southern Cavalry Reserve to... I wonder if we just go to Knoxville and just run right out of the Cumberland Gap. But it might be quicker just to go to Sparta and then cross... But we have rail that we can use maybe. We can use the rail system from through Corinth to Decatur, Chattanooga, and to Knoxville. So stand wait on the move. Diplomacy 4 policy selected. So we're going to do military 2. I think we need to spend some more on subsidies to do that. And we do. So we'll be at the full 5 additional policies already. But we'll be able to do... We'll be able to do Militia Act 3 without removing a policy. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the Southern Cavalry Reserve under stand wait. And we're going to fire through the Cumberland Gap and invade Kentucky. Our hope is that we actually want the Union to pull their infantry out of western Kentucky. And then we can invade with Longstreet and Johnston, take western Kentucky, and then maybe move up with that infantry support. Porterfield is back at Lynchburg. Union is moving some ships down the coast. Oh, we just lost sight of them. There they are. I can't get any intelligence on them now. So now they have 184,000 to our 178. I could use McCulloch to take Talika. There's a coal mine there too. Want to see how they react. The First Corps. All right, we're gonna go after Talika and this Arkansas River. It's a 2 depot. No, it's only a 1 rating depot. We can take Muskogee also. So instead of invading straight into Missouri, we are going to try to retake some of this Indian territory. Longstreet probably could. He's got 25,000 men now. Well, they're matching with their 23,000. I want to see how. I want to see if the Union, how the Union reacts to stand wait invading into eastern Kentucky. I want to see if they pull men out. It's still early in April. So, it does tick up over time based on our policies. Now, when Lincoln emancipated, we took a 20% hit because we were at 58% British intervention at one time. The legal blockade gives actually European intervention a minus 20%. Confederate subsidies ticks it up over time. So we're at plus 30% because of Confederate diplomacy subsidies. So I don't know if there's any more policies other than there's Diplomacy 5, which I would imagine would give us extra British intervention. Well, I want to see if the Union tries to... So two things. I'm going to push into Indian territory to take the Depot and Tahlequah and Muskogee. So McCulloch's going to try to take this here. And we'll see what the First Corps does near Carthage, Missouri. We have a fort near Fayetteville. Maybe we should garrison it a little bit better. I don't know if they'll be done in time, but it's worth a shot. Oh, what's the name of that? There it is. Hartranft. Fort Hartranft. All right, we'll leave those two commanders there. All right, hopefully they'll fortify in time if the Union decides to try to take Fort Hartranft. I should probably rename that fort since I have so much trouble saying it. All right, stand wait at Chattanooga, headed towards Knoxville. He's on the train to Knoxville. Mexican intervention escalates. Let's go to Cumberland Gap. So we're going to unleash 15,000 cavalry on Kentucky. Now, we're not going to set them to raid because that will ruin Kentucky support. Because they are 78 support for us right now. 85 in Missouri. All right, he is in place. All right, so we're going to strike at London first. So the invasion of Kentucky has begun. We're keeping Johnston quiet. What do I do with Price? Got Little there. Price can come in behind Longstreet and build depots and any forts that we need. Let's look at finances. Credit rating at BBB. Let's see, we can't. Oh, we can go a little bit further, I guess. With Tennessee Squadron. That way we can kind of scout out Louisville. So still 2,300 men at south of Cincinnati. All right, London has fallen to the Confederacy. Let's look at front lines. All right, so that's a big swath of eastern Kentucky. Don't see any movement from the Union yet. I'm actually going to order Little and his engineers to Cumberland Gap, and then they can build depots and trail behind Stand Wait. Make sure he was on rail movement. All right, supplies are still good for Stand Wait. We're going to move on to Harrodsburg. It looks like the Union might be creeping towards Grafton, Virginia. Virginia Cavalry Reserve is going to take Cumberland. Johnston. We're going to take the bridge crossing here. Probably fortify that to the west of the valley. How's our Galveston fleet doing? 8 ships. 48 guns. Firepower of 40. I feel like are all the ships ready and completed? No. So not all the 4 other ships are still being waited to complete. Second, the Department of Ohio looks like they're digging in. They're down to 14,000 men. Ooh, I wonder if they transferred men. So there was a fort here at Nashville. I don't see it anymore. So I wonder if we cross the Cumberland. I wonder if that will drive the Department of Ohio away from the crossing there at Clarksville. All right, Longstreet's ordered to strike east of the Second Corps. Now they have military too, so they can get, if they have a nearby corps, they can converge on Longstreet. All right, Longstreet ordered north. I don't want to attack that corps yet because I don't know what's behind them. What I want them to do is to fall back. Johnston. We're going to order Johnston towards Johnsonville Ferry. All right, stand wait. His supplies are still good. And he's pulling some supplies from London. Magruder. I've got Magruder at Knoxville. All right, let's actually, I want to actually move Little to Nashville. Why no attack on the Army of Kentucky? Should we do siege train? We're gonna maneuver them. All right, Little is in Nashville. Oh, there's the fort right there. For some reason, after the Union took that fort, there's no fort icon. What's up, Rosanna Dana? Not that, London. So, Rosanna Dana, I have a question for you. I can't find a good spot for this fort. I can just plop it right over the old one. All right. So the question is this. So I was recruiting troops inside the fort. Now, you can't assign a division commander for the units that you're recruiting. Is there a limit on how many units are you recruiting in a fort? Because forts have a capacity level, even though you can go over those capacity levels. I don't know if it's a game glitch, but there's a fort at Nashville. It's gone, though. There's no icon for it, even though I can probably recruit into it. But my real question is about your recruitment centers. So the Department of Ohio is staying stationary, even though we've moved to the east of them. Don't recruit beyond 30 days. Memphis. We're going to build 2 more ships. Not build, but put 2 more ships at Memphis. Oh, where's the Memphis port? Don't tell me we have control over it, right? Yes. The fort has... Do you recruit in the fort or near the fort? I have a feeling we're talking about 2 different things right now. Where is Port Memphis? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, trying to come in on top of the Department of Ohio and even cut them off from their supplies. My concern is about that Union Army in Paducah. I'm inching Johnston towards to support Longstreet. Also, if the Union has military too, they can converge on us faster than we can converge on them. Oh, there's Memphis. All right, we'll use these ships to spy on the Paducah force. Although we have these ships right here, so how large is this force? Ooh, 40. Okay, that's an army headquarters. 46,000. So we see there's 24,000 now right there. So there's got to be at least another corps of about 20,000 men somewhere. To recapture the fort, you place a division next to it. Make sure the fort is in the dark circle. I've had divisions next to it though. So even Little is next to that fort. Same thing with over here. They captured this fort. Now, it's Fort Kershaw. They just don't show the fort. And you can't transfer them in there. My question is, do you recruit in the fort itself? Or outside, just outside of it? And what is the benefit to doing that? With I think what you're trying to say is what you were trying to tell me is you recruit with a high admin general and they will recruit to regular training faster. You do. They're the black box with the 4 smaller block boxes. So those are your forts on the zoom out mode. So where the cities are circles, and I think the squares themselves are depot. Then you have the large squares with 4 squares around. You recruit in the fort. Okay. All right, so stand wait, headed towards Harrodsburg. what is our... We have 19,000 men in reserve. Do we have anyone? We could send Bragg. We can send Bragg to Jackson. Because I'd like to use Johnston also in with Longstreet. Oh, on the map. Yeah, they're on there. Yep, at Fort Kershaw. It's just something is not right. We took them back from when the Union took them. We took them back, and then they even showed the. You know how it will show the repair icon when you're. It's the same way it looks when you're building a fort. I know I got to be building a fort somewhere. So I even remember seeing us repairing the fort, but then the actual fort icon disappeared. So I've got Little building another fort, so. Yeah, it has to be within the dark black circle to repair the fort. So you won't be able to repair the fort unless your division is right on top of it. Or not on top, it has to be in this dark circle. Now, I've tried to transfer the Kershaw garrison to there. See, the weird thing about this, it shows the Fort Kershaw garrison as a field army and a garrison. Oh, wait, now it disappeared. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Fort Kershaw garrison. Yeah, so if it was actually a garrison in a fort, it should have disappeared. That's not a crazy question. Invasion of New York City. I wonder if it will fit maybe on a reload. It might fix on a reload. All right, but the Union Second Corps staying put. They are not biting on Longstreet. Well, when you exchange units with the fort, this little arrow box pops up. And we're within the range of the fort. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But this looks like a field army now. I don't even see the fort anymore near Jackson. I guess he can get busy building another fort. There we go. Now, I don't want him to sneak in behind me. But if we're going to have Bragg go to Jackson. Johnston's going to come over. If they try to take Nashville. Johnston can take Nashville. So I wonder if we'll see if this first corps comes in to try to take Jackson. We have a small force there. Bragg has been called on to reinforce western Tennessee. We want to look at the heat map for the supply lines or supply area. So yeah, Tennessee's well supplied. Virginia's well supplied. Our depot costs are getting higher. That could be the product of increased good prices. Well, look at the Union all over the place. Yeah, their cost of artillery is high. Our price of clothing dropping for us. That's good. They have 5 Union invasions. Second Corps, 24,000. Fort Trabue garrison, 3,400. Where's that one? Oh. Oh, snap. So the Western Army. Army of the West with 4,000. That's where they retreated. Well, McCulloch's going to attack. Unfortunately, it's clear. It is clear here. Even though we hear some rain, the rain is to the south. I don't think it means no more forts, but it's going to cost a lot of money. All right, stand wait almost at Harrodsburg. Magruder's going to build a depot here. Siege train, flying column, and let's do engineers. We're near Jackson. Yeah, because I started building a new fort because the other fort I can't enter it. So the previous fort in Nashville was captured by the Union. We recaptured it, but then, I mean, it shows on the map, but we're going to build a new fort with a new garrison. All right, stand wait. It's about to capture Lexington. I think we're going to go after Munfordville. The depot at London in 19 days. So I'm not seeing a lot of movement by the Union at all. They're just letting stand wait go all around Kentucky, capturing towns. So yeah, the Southern Cavalry Reserve and Longstreet, we can maybe hit the Department of Ohio from the northeast. Munford. My granddaddy's name was Munford. Not really. Is they moving? I thought I saw them moving. Oh, what is going on there? Looks like we will have battle. Oh, Army of the Shenandoah. I was so focused on that army. Oh, man, the supplies. I forgot about Joe Johnston. 24,000. We're a little bit outnumbered there. Napoleon J.T. Dana. Well, let's see how this battle unfolds. Their reinforcements aren't until 19 hours, though. Looked like Joe Johnston, though, because I had forgotten a little bit of... It wasn't that long, though, but he was away from his supply base taking the bridge, and we'll see how his supply situation is. Our supply state of our army is outstanding. He was just getting low on provisions. Our scouts report the enemy is near Cumberland. We are facing the army of Lincoln under command of Napoleon J.T. Dana. Well, this will be interesting. We have a lot of cavalry with us. Elk Ridge. Oh, we're on the attack. Sunken Road. Our scouts report. Let's do this one. We only have our 9,000 cavalry right now. So it looks like the Union has all 34,000 men. I like the name. I like the AI name for their army, the Army of Lincoln. Artillery, we're heavily outnumbered. Artillery. We're waiting on Joe Johnston and his men. He was only 4 hours away. Now he's approximately 8 hours away. So we just have some horse batteries. arriving in 7 hours. We thought it was going to be 4 hours. It is... That's almost the entire day. Virginia Cavalry Reserve, their fighting spirit is 74. Training 21. Ooh, the Army of Lincoln's training is 52. We might be going up against their best. Ooh. 92. 1st Brigade. Hit and runs. Shoot and scoot. Yeah, until Johnston comes. Where's Johnston coming? Johnston is coming from Harper's Ferry. So that should be coming through Shepherdstown. Or maybe even near the Antietam Iron Works. I mean, we could just hold tight at Shepherdstown. But I wonder how much their victory points will tick. I mean, we could definitely defend this river crossing. Well, they could cross to the north, but that would take them a while. It's interesting, no crossing over here at Knott's Island. We can set up around Nicodemus Hill and then try to get out and around. So they could be at the Sunken Road. Why? What's the point of having cavalry if I don't abuse? Right. Well, we have the roads around Nicodemus Hill, so we could do that. Let's set up Walker and Steele. We'll send Walker north. That's really weird. We can send Steele across towards the Dunkard Church just to scout out the Sunken Road. I'm going to detach these scouts. Was wasn't Brandy Station the largest cavalry engagement? Yeah, FA. Yeah, you said Brandy Station. I thought Brandy Station was the largest cavalry engagement of the war. And I think the only reason why there might have been larger cavalry engagements or potentially larger cavalry engagements during the Overland campaign, but I think even by then the Confederate forage for horses was so low that it was hard to maintain a large cavalry force anymore. The Union might have had more larger numbers of cavalry by that time of the war, but the Confederates probably were losing too many men. Yeah, what was the battle that Stuart was killed in? That outside of Richmond. That was a big cavalry engagement. I still don't think it was as large as Brandy Station, though. Was that Fair Oak? Not Fair. That wasn't Fair Oaks, was it? Fair Oaks was Seven Pines, the other name for Seven Pines. The Seek and Destroy mission, we're seeking. A lot of seeking. Yellow Tavern, thank you. And welcome to the stream, Marine Willis. So my scouts are being a pain. They are not responding to my orders. We should expect reinforcements by 5. I mean, the Union could be held up behind the mountain. It doesn't look like they're at the sunken road. It looks like we'll be able to take the sunken road. Don't you look forward to it? Like, I've been able to get scouts to move on their own. I'm having trouble now. I tried detaching them. I took off evade, but they're being really stubborn. I want to just send out the scouts, but I don't. They're like, are you crazy? We're not going to... We don't want to get away from command. We're not some forward observers. Ah, I see. But we've taken the sunken road. So we should start accumulating some victory points. Let's see if we can take the middle bridge. I do not want to order the entire command over there. Someone wants to play. Sounds like someone wants to play. All right, so they are not at the middle bridge. Yeah, so maybe they're around Elk Ridge. Maybe they're defending the mountain pass. That's fine. Our reinforcements will arrive. All right, Steele will take Porterstown. We are earning victory points. Let's see the breakdown. Our morale is actually 54.9. Objective points 1. They have 11 objective points, but I think that ticks up over time. So we'll have two. They are in the mountains. Johnston has arrived. Oh, it comes right by the Antietam Ironworks. Actually I think I want to deploy here. Yeah, I'm used to the John Tiller 2D maps. And I don't think, even though I know those maps are very accurate, but I still, you don't get a real good sense of the undulating, rolling hill, and it's not apparent to me the high ground that Lee actually had there, because it's kind of a low rolling hill area. Yeah, I seen the Union. Yep. So it looks like they're I don't know why they're climbing the mountain. They're going to tire themselves out. I wonder if we actually fall back behind, stay behind the river. Now that we have Johnston here. They're like rolling right off the hill there. All right, let's get some guns over here. Although we could have ambushed this Union brigade. Yeah, so when we grabbed the second victory objective, we turned it over to a defensive battle. So we got artillery guns over above the middle bridge. Bowen lets the Union know that we see them. And we got Pickett's division, 6,000 men. They've made a forced march. They're disrupted. Not a lot of daylight left. So it looks like they're not going to attack the middle bridge. So we'll establish ourselves there. Really need to get Johnston to link up, though, because the deployment zones won't be ideal for us. What's up, Mikhailia? Ooh, we're so close. That's good. That works, though. Well, this is a defensive battle. So they'll probably try to come after the victory objectives here. We can spread out the cavalry and then we can skedaddle if we need to skedaddle. I hope. No, cohesion is broken, so picket's not broken. Just as cohesion. I think we'll actually do this. So Jackson and Pickett will deploy behind the river, behind the creek. Still only the one Union brigade that we can see. We can try to harass the 2nd Brigade. Oh, they're defending up here, huh? Oh, those are the scouts. Oh wait, they're supposed to evade. So this one Union brigade have caught themselves a little isolated. Let's see what we can do before the reinforcements come. They are charging hard with reinforcements, though. Maybe we get Jackson defending a position here. I have not seen the Chattanooga battlefields. That must have been a sight to see watching. And I know Lookout Mountain is much bigger, but I would have loved to have seen the Union troops charge up Missionary Ridge. that had to be a sight to see. I think even Grant said it was like one of the most amazing things he ever saw. Let's see, Davidson's kind of getting... I don't know if his fire has been that effective. We might have to skedaddle. They don't want to mount back up. Alright, we need to get these guys out of here. Oh, the retreat order worked pretty good. Maybe I should, instead of fall back, maybe I should have used retreat. Oh, they're falling back. We can draw them into our guns. Union sending their cavalry at our cavalry. Good tactic there. Oh, that cost us 657 men, though. That's not good. We have to watch our guns here. I'm contemplating moving Bowen. I'm trying to get support for him. Although it looks like MacArthur wants to take him. Oh, Davidson lost a lot of men. Although I have artillery about to set up on the flank of MacArthur and the two Union brigades here, Hunter and Cook, or McCook. As Jackson and Pickett try to cross at the lower bridge. Alright, fall back. DeRosie is wounded. Alright, so the troopers aren't... I was trying to get them back mounted, but they weren't responding very well. I finally got Davidson to remount. I will unmount Smith's brigade to maybe defend these guns. It's not awful yet, but we're almost up to 1,000 casualties. But we are massing our infantry on their left. Yeah, try to get Johnson into a good position. They're slowed down by the bridge crossings. We have some cavalry too under ransom that we can maybe... It looks like they're exposing their rear. We can maybe get in behind them. All right, some of our infantry is getting close to being in place. Sending some skirmishers out. Randolph's artillery starting to unlimber, and that will add some needed support. Although they still have a lot of reinforcements coming off the mountain. We could use Fitzhugh to harass the flank of this Union brigade there. Bowen's actually been able to shoot in the rear of the Union forces confronting our infantry. Garnett is fragmented, though. I think I missed a question about the dev update. The 105 update. All forward batteries on McCook. All right, we need to unmount Lee here. So now they're going after the cavalry. So we can't get Ransom in behind this Union position here. He has too many reinforcements coming down off the mountain. But we could maybe push in between with our infantry. Unfortunately, our men are a little bit tired. He is able to unmount, but is he going to be able to fend off 2 infantry brigades? He only has mixed cavalry weapons. He has the high ground and some artillery support. You know how in Steam you can have your game updated? Yeah. Yeah, I don't have the 105 update. They haven't released it even in the beta form. Yeah, I've had it. I have it set to get beta releases. Let's see if Garnett, even though they're disrupted, maybe he can come to the aid of Fitzhugh Lee. Could probably throw out some skirmishers too. Oh, Wilcox somehow is facing the wrong way. We have the Mainz Brigade. So Wilcox is able to drive off the militia brigade. Alright, casualty, we still lost 1,000 casualties. It looks like we're starting to inflict a little bit more damage against the Union position. No, I don't think that is why the units are freezing up. Could be user error too. Let's see if Davidson has any fight left in him. As they're trying to roll up our flank here around Middle Bridge. You missed an entire winter, Josh Coffey. That's fine. You probably missed the boring part. This is just the beginning of the spring campaign. So Wilcox, with the support of Gordon here, doing a good job. The Muskegee Guard. We get to see the Muskegee Guard and the Mainz Brigade in their first action. I got Smith too far ahead. Oh. A four brigade assault on Fitzhugh Lee. I'm tempted to hold my ground the best I can because I know I have reinforcements coming. Disrupted and all. Kemper's brigade is also here. I think they're going to charge. They're trying to charge. Lee pushed back the first charge. He's losing a lot of men, though. I don't know how much longer he can hold out. Looks like Bowen's guns are also taking flanking fire. Might be time to lose Porterstown. Kemper's supporting Garnett. Well, Lee's able to drive some men off with the help of Garnett now. All right, Smith is able to fall back in decent order, so that's good. Bowen. Oh, the guns right here. First battery are probably firing on Bowen. Now, ammunition looks okay. And there we go. So Garnett's able to get flanking fire on that attack on Lee. Although now the left flank looks threatened. And Porterstown is contested. All right, so all our infantry, we got Johnston over here. We've narrowed that gap on casualties. They have about 3 brigades on top of the mountain in reserve. They have artillery that maybe Stewart can go grab. I'm going to wait to see if they come down the hill there. Fitzhugh Lee, about halfway to his lost resilience. Garnett's going to try to hit the 1st Cavalry, and we're driving them back. 400 men lost. As they're throwing everything at the cavalry at Porterstown. Kemper going to medium range fire. Well, the direct assault on Fitzhugh Lee. Ooh. Bowen is whipped. Bowen losing men. Bowen wounded. Oh, they got the guns, though. They're able to get the guns. Let's see if Robertson can support from the flank there. Although they have some... Looks like they have infantry brigade that might be able to take those guns. We might need to retreat them. Let's see if Davidson can put some pressure on the flank here. 2,000 casualties to our 1,900. I want to see if these guns come off the hill, and then Stewart's going to just try to grab them. Pendleton is dueling with the Union battery here. Now, I ordered Scott to move over here. Colquitt has not gotten his guns in position. If we get Colquitt up on this ridge, that might do a lot of damage on the Union position in front of us. I need to get the Muskogee Guard up here. Another assault now this time on Preston Smith and his cavalry troopers, but Davidson tries to support, but now is being attacked himself. Let's get Robertson to rain some lead down on 2nd Brigade. Hopefully Davidson can hold. The Rosie is broken. I don't think we're going to get him back anytime soon. Someone else, Smith, is wounded in action. We still can't seem to outpace their damage. Let's get Garnett even closer to Lee. Yeah, here under, we can look at, you can get a intelligence report on Union casualties. According to this, 1st Corps, total of 2,300 casualties. Breaking it down, so their New Jersey militia has suffered the most. Not on the map, no. Well, yeah, the tooltip right here. So Militia Brigade, casualties, almost 500. So you can use the tooltip. Same with your own men. Really need to get the Mainz Brigade into a firing range. I think here's our opportunity, actually, for Hood to take these guns here. We're going to try to get Hood to take the guns under Smart, or Smith, under Smith, before these Union brigades come off the mountain. I don't think Fitzhugh Lee has much more left in him. Yeah, now they're starting to lose even more men now. We're going to try to... We'll try to hold a little bit longer. If Colquitt can get into firing position. We've ordered the Mainz Brigade up closer to start firing. Yeah, we got to get Preston Smith out of there. We've ordered them to retreat. As soon as we ordered that, though, they broke. Hawes is demoralized. Let's see what our infantry can do. 3,600 to our 33 in casualties. All right, we're gonna pull Robertson's guns out of the way, get him across the creek, and maybe set up behind the crossing. See, Lee might be able to make or connect with Garnett at least. And then he might be able to retreat this way. I think we're going to get Davidson back across. See if they fall back. They'll try to fall back across. We're gonna just charge right at those guns with Hood. Old school cavalry charge. Lost 9 men. They're holding steady. They're driving those guns away. I think we got those guns. Now we need to get Pendleton and his gunners on the hill here to fire on the flank. You can see the Union Brigade turned their flank, and now the Muskogee Guard has a flanking fire. Kemper in heavy engagement now with tired Union troops, though. It looks like Fitzhugh Lee is broken. Let's see how our cavalry is doing retreating. Hood is at a cost of 16 men. We're trying to grab those guns too. Well, why don't we go for a flank attack against that infantry since they have turned to us. Well, right in the flank and rear. Hood doing all kinds of damage. We might have to get him out of there, though. Oh, he broke. It was worth a shot. We got this cavalry, or this artillery too. Stewart, going to take those guns. Oh, we've inflicted more casualties now. Unfortunately, Hood breaking doesn't help us. Maybe he can rally. Let's see, Garnett and Kemper. Who is Walker is now demoralized. So we're actually inflicting more casualties now. Total number, not as a percentage. Wilcox has lost way too many men. Unfortunately, we did not break that 3rd Brigade. Hood did a lot of damage. Oh. Alright. Men of Mainz. Attack. Give him the bayonet. So the men of Mainz are able to drive off the militia brigade. Now we got to get the Muskegee Guard to take Cox Jr. and his brigade there. Stewart is able to grab these guns. We've inflicted 5,000, but lost 4,500. We are and are outnumbered 30 by another 7,000. As Halls and Walker are both broken, Steele is not broken. He's unstable though. Davidson is trying to get across the bridge. We did get Robertson's artillery across, so if we can get him over at the bridge crossing and maybe support some artillery fire. Colquitt is in position and firing. We're going to make sure the Mainz Brigade, though, doesn't collapse themselves. I don't know where he's receiving flanking fire from. They're not turned on him. So we are rolling up the Union left a little bit. So nice job by the Mainzeners. And now we can actually, we still have those guns that Hood took. And Stewart just took some guns too. They have some artillery pounding our right flank. We're going to try to get Stewart to take those guns. If we can get Hood to rally. That would help us out. We could barely sneak away with this. Oh, they're still firing. They're trying to make a charge at Kemper's brigade. Kemper's not doing enough damage. I forgot to set him. I should have had a short range fire. Garnett is wounded. Lots of officer casualties in this battle. We've inflicted 6,500. We've lost 53. We might actually. This might be one of our a major defeat. Although if they lose over, okay, they're already at 19% casualties, so no one's getting a major out of this. It's just a bloodbath. The ferocity. This is the Shiloh of this campaign. I think Kemper's going to fight off 1st Brigade. Those guns from Colquitt finally getting in position really help. Let's see if Stewart is making his way towards... He's not tired. He's well rested. We're going to try to take that artillery that's been pounding us from the flank. Let's see if he can't charge up the hill. Did Hood rally? No, he's still broken. Somehow, Davidson is not broken. But now he's got to cross the bridge and he's exposing his flank. DeRosey is broken, but I can't... He won't go that way. I'm worried that not Davidson, but DeRosey is going to get wiped out. Come on, Muskegee Guard, push forward. We got that cavalry. I'm not charging with artillery. I meant to train my guns on them. All right, now the Mainzingers, the Mainzens have driven off the 3rd Brigade, the men of Mainz. Who else is wounded? Oh, Hawes is wounded. So now they're pulling their troops from the right over. They got a lot of artillery over there too. We've driven off the cavalry, trying to reinforce their left. Oh, how did Stewart do? Oh, he's got those guns. And at a cost of 28 men, he is getting tired though. Yeah, the Germans are rolling up the left flank. They've done a really good job. Same with the Muskegee Guard. We need to completely break the U.S. cavalry here. Oh, yeah, I had a feeling Garnett was... These guys have been in battle, Kemper and Garnett, just too long. Let's see if Colquitt can hold the ground with artillery. We do have Wilcox. Wilcox, though, is at his breaking point as well. Same with Kemper. Looks like DeRosey is trying to make it across. But now he's getting in the way of Davidson. All right. Alright, so Stuart is winded and tired. Let's grab some of those guns though and see if we can't turn them down on the Union blue. Take those guns. Take those guns. And I think Kemper broke too. Colquitt's about to get... Wilcox is winded. I was going to put him on double time to maybe save these guns. We probably should retreat back to here. Because we still have Randolph firing away. Oh, we were halfway there. Now we're back to minor defeat. We're going to have to get Pickett out of the way before he gets wounded or killed. Let's get Pendleton up here. They do have this 1st Brigade probably coming to try to capture Stuart. So why don't we get Stuart down off the hill? Let's see if Colquitt can get out of harm's way without too many losses. They're having some trouble, that is for sure. Looks like I think Johnston's gonna call it off though for us. Wilcox, I need whatever you can give me. Oh, that's stupid. I don't like that fence, actually. Stuart is very tired, though. Yeah, Colquitt's getting shot to pieces as he tries to retreat. Smith has withdrawn. We actually started pushing losses back to our side. The Mainz Germans hold back the 4th Brigade now. If we can get Wilcox over here on the left. Colquitt breaks. And they take some of our guns. I should have just almost better off holding Colquitt right there. Yeah, Johnston's about to retreat. Pickett is finally demoralized. We've inflicted 9,000 to their to our 66. Yeah, they still have what's left of what hit our cavalry. Better shotguns. Johnston hasn't thrown in the towel yet. See if Walker can stop this infantry assault on Hampton's artillery. Nah, he's like, nope. Okay. Time to retreat. Why am I moving what battery? But this, why didn't I move the Hampton battery? Well, the Muskegee Guard and the Mainz Brigade are the lone brigades on the field. Stewart's still there. But I didn't want to lose any more men. I didn't see any other wavering infantry. Yeah, we were trying to do hit and run tactics. Oh, should probably get these guys out of the way. Everyone retreat. The pathing is so weird sometimes. All right. That's one. That was fun, but one I didn't want to put in the books. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky with hit and run. You got to time. It's the trouble. The challenge with the hit and run is, I think you got to mount first. So I was trying to retreat and mount at the same time. I think you need to mount first and then give them orders to run away. Yeah, I actually need to go. So if my I do appreciate everyone for the stream and coming in and saying hello and watching. So I will see you Thursday for the next one. That'll be our third one this week, and after that we'll do some more the following week. So everyone have a very good afternoon, good day, good night. Ashley, get some sleep if you're still awake. I'm sure Asian markets are about to open. So you have a very good day. Take care. Have a good one.